John Caldwell. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about survival skills, and today we're going to be making a fire with a bow. It's an old primitive style, and it's very effective, and you have to have the right material. So we're going to start with the bow. And I've got a heavy cord on here, actually it's a light rope, and that's very important. If you use a shoestring, which you can, it will probably wear out on the first run. This has gone through many fires. It's very handy to have, and when you go camping you should have some line with you in your pack. Now another thing, a fallacy is to have this thing bent with tension on it. That's not necessarily so. It's better if you don't. Now today I'm going to be making a fire with thistle, a common weed that has been dried very well. And thistle on poplar works very well. And on top of the spindle I'm going to be using a stone with a little divot in it to fit the top of the thistle. It's important that when you set this up that you have everything secure, especially if you're in a wet environment, snow, mud, or whatever. You have to be careful of that transferring from your boots into the area where you want the fire to start, and also from gathering in and around, so you want to clear that out. Another thing is I'm using a little stone to catch the coals, which I can then transfer and put someplace. I've used lead and other material like that, but nothing works as well as a little stone or even a small stick, a sliver of a stick that you would lay on there. You can grab and transfer your coals to where you need it. So when you put this in, make sure everything sets very tight. Rotate the back so it sets very well. Grab the spindle. This is important. The way this is set up comes up through right toward you. You got the part that you want to spin onto the hearth board coming straight to you on the inside, and then you twist it back. You see this configuration? You don't want it opposite. You want to be able to put your thumb on that cord and control that pressure with your thumb. Now when you set this up, you can either use your boot down here, which I don't like to. I like to get close and use my knee for a couple of reasons. Number one, as I mentioned, the mud and the transferring of wet material where you don't want it. And two, it's much easier for me being a little older, and not to mention a little pack right here that I'm not too proud of. At any rate, here's another thing you need to look at. You don't want to run this bow toward the opening of your slot. Otherwise that spindle will grind out of there and kick out. You want it to be on an angle or parallel with your hearth board. Now another fallacy is to put too much pressure on the top of this. You want enough pressure to keep it snug, but also to allow that spindle to turn. I'm going to be putting down pressure with my thumb, and when I start seeing smoke, I'm going to start picking up the tempo. But what you want to do is to keep his top hand very steady in and against your leg, as if you're a machine, and the movement will be down here with this other hand. And like I said, when smoke starts, I'm going to pick it up a little bit. We'll just see how long it takes for me to get a coal. And also your tinder pile, you don't want it down here where it's going to get kicked off. Put it in your pocket, again, keeping it away from wet materials. I'm ready to go. That happens occasionally. That's what I'm looking for. Now I got my coals. Tap it with the back of this, making sure everything's there. Now don't get in a hurry at this point. Set this down so it doesn't get wet. Let this cook. Don't let it blow away, that's important. Get your tinder out. Transfer everything on there. All that dust. Let it cook. That will turn into a coal. Now you wrap this around there, and this material here is jute. It's burlap. You can buy this twine in Walmart. It's good to have in your pack. The wind as we have today is giving it just the right amount of air, and now we got fire.
I was trying to warn you. So you wouldn't catch your hand on fire. I was trying to tell you that the coal was burning so you wouldn't catch your hand on fire.
Go ahead, Gabe. You can play now.